Welcome back to About Last Week, a look inside a college hockey weight room. Today we're going over week 4 of the fall semester. About Last Week is a series of presentations and videos that take you inside a college hockey weight room. We're going to be focusing on the 21 and 22 seasons of Liberty University's men's and women's D1 hockey teams. About the week before. If you can remember, on Monday we ran beep tests. And again, I do not think that a beep test is an accurate representation of on-ice conditioning or in-game conditioning. The beep test, number one, is not conducted on the ice. That's a huge difference. Number two, it does not take into account the technical, tactical, and psychological factors that go into on-ice conditioning. I run a beep test just to get an idea of how much stress athletes can handle off ice, where their lungs, their heart, and their blood vessels are kind of at. We had our first workout on September 8th, and during that was the first time using the 1080 for rookies. A reminder, I have 18 new players between the men's and the women's team this year. The girls had their first week of 4 workouts a week. Even though on Thursday they did a stride breakdown, it was the first week where they had 4 team activities before their practices. Looking at the men's week, they had their first games on the 17th and the 18th. So when you look at their workouts on Monday and Wednesday, it's very much like what they did in week 2 for their first workouts, but also you're going to see on Monday and Wednesday, it is the exact same workout. Right, the exact same workout being done on Monday and Wednesday. The reason for that just being, I don't want to make them sore. I don't want to beat them up. When you introduce a lot of new, that's when you get sore. That's when you get beat up. So by having the same workout done on Monday and then Wednesday, it gave their bodies an opportunity to kind of adapt to it and not have something new, a new stress to kind of get sore to. Here you can see us performing our PVC hinges and our barbell RDLs. Again, just really hammering in that hinge pattern. I really want to make sure that everything looks good for when we begin to load it later in the year. Intent and big picture. So I wanted to run 2 high-intensity workouts, just like we will during normal weeks in season. I wanted to acclimate the body and not make them sore. I did not want to take away from the games this weekend. As important as the weight room is, there's no scoreboard in the weight room, right? You prepare for the ice, but you don't win the game inside the weight room. You win it on the ice during the actual game. And then just get their split squat, 1080, and vertical jump numbers, get an idea where some of our guys are at, and use these as something to build off of, but also potentially to auto-regulate later in the year. Within the big picture of this week, it was in season. When we are in season, the ice is more important than the weight room. I can't stress that enough. Like I said, there's no scoreboard in the weight room. It's out on the ice. It's during the game. So I need to prioritize high quality practices and winning in season. I'm going to start them slow cooking process towards March. March is what I care about the most. And in the big picture, we're trying to perfect the movements that we're going to use throughout the year. Taking a look at the women's workouts, very similar to what the men were doing. So if you look at the video we looked at for the men's workouts, you're going to see, if we pull up the women's calendar, a barbell RDL after their PVC hinges. There's no weights assigned to these. It's just an empty barbell. And some of you might think, an empty barbell? Yes, an empty barbell. You have to remember for about a third of each of the teams, we're going to have those athletes for 4 more years, right? We have a large rookie class. And even for our seniors, I care most about March, right? So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to make sure that these RDLs, these hinge patterns are dialed in. You're already getting enough stress from the split squats. This is just secondary. I don't want to overload them. There's absolutely no need. I am slow cooking them. When we look towards Tuesday and Thursday for the women, if we remember from week 3, I started to regress some of their pull-ups. I wasn't happy with their shoulder blade positions during pull-ups and push-ups. So progressing now, on Tuesday we had scat pull-ups or 1 to 3 chin-ups for those who are starting to look good and have that upper body pulling strength. And then on Thursday, you can see we progressed it even more, scat pull-ups or max chin-ups, where on Tuesday we restricted the number. Now, for those who looked really good, let's knock out some upper body volume. Another reason, especially for the girls, that I'm not too worried about doing empty barbell RDLs for now is they're doing slider leg curls twice a week. It's a lot of backside or posterior chain volume. Intent and big picture for the girls, very similar. Run 2 high intensity workouts on Monday and Wednesday. Acclimate the body. I don't want to make them sore. We're getting into in season time right now. I want the on ice and the games to be the priority. Get used to the safety squat bar. It's a different thing for the girls. You can load up much more weight on that. So I want to make sure they're comfortable. And then get 1080 sprint and vertical jump numbers. When you look into the big picture, I wanted to feel out how this 4 days a week was going to look. I personally didn't know. Athletes don't know. So wanted to feel it out. And then again, start the slow cooking process towards March. I don't want to come out of the gate too hot. Look at the big picture. March, the games, that's what's most important. And then also perfect the movements that we're going to use throughout the year. I don't want to be having to teach a split squat or a row or a hinge come October, November. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you're wanting some resources, if you're wondering kind of where or how I developed some of the thoughts and the programs that I write out for the teams, and if there's anything you would like for me to cover or detail for next time, please let me know.